Hello guys, how are you all doing? Just thought I would bring you another little video. Something I got in just a little over a week ago, and I don't know if you remember on my last video I would bring you something a little bit different to kind of what you usually see on this channel, but it's something that might kind of take your interest if you're kind of like me and I think a lot of people that are into kind of statues and collecting are probably into video games or specifically retro arcade games. So this might be something you'll enjoy. So I thought I'd give you a little look at this. Like I said, I got this in about a week ago, and I've been thinking about getting a Bartop arcade for a little while now. And I just recently had my birthday at the end of January and had some money, and I thought, why not? I'll do it now. I've been, like I say, looking on Google, on eBay, on YouTube, at various different machines, different builds, and there are so many people doing these now, which is good, but kind of can make life difficult because it's a job to know who to go with. I mean, you could even build one yourself, I suppose, but not something I really fancy doing. So yeah, for me it was a case of scouring through eBay and just looking at pictures, looking at machines, the games that were installed, and kind of going from there really. And there was one machine or one kind of builder that kind of stood out a little bit, and I'll go into the reasons why, mainly in terms of the build, because you do find some builds can be a little bit, I don't want to use the word slapdash, but can look a little bit unfinished, should I say. So I found Andy from arcadecustoms.co.uk. He does actually sell through eBay, but does have his own website as well. So I reached out to Andy via his site, and yeah, basically, really cool guy. And I've got to say, his customer service and the whole experience was just totally professional and just a pleasure to deal with from start to finish. I mean, I'm not too in the know of different kind of emulators, operating systems, etc. I just basically told him, I literally listed a load of games I wanted, and he said, right, you should go for this. And then we went to actually building the machine. So he will actually build you a bespoke machine to your liking, and that's what we did really. And once you do that, he can then break it down, give you a price, and one of the actual appealing things as well with Arcade Customs is that they do actually deliver as well. And just to top it all off, it was collection and delivery on the same day. So I've never had that before in anything I've bought in my entire life. So that was, it was just amazing, absolutely amazing, and really well priced as well, really reasonably priced. So yeah, basically I reached out to Andy, we exchanged emails, I told him kind of the games I wanted, and then we went to work on, basically what I wanted. I wanted a cabinet that kind of looked retro. I mean, if we look at the cab itself, and predominantly the control panel where the buttons are and the side panels, I mean, you can have that to your, to your liking. You can have vinyl graphics to a specific game, whether it be Mortal Kombat, whether it be Pac-Man, whether it be Street Fighter, Bubble, Tron, RoboCop, etc, etc. You can have anything you like. And the same with the control panel. You can have those graphics carrying on through the panel. You can have whatever you want. I wanted to keep mine fairly retro, and because it's in my collection and amongst some of my kind of 80s and 90s statues, I wanted the machine to kind of represent that. So I kept it fairly kind of standard. I was very tempted to go with backlit buttons, but again, I wanted it to keep it quite retro. Yeah, this is what I come up with. In terms of like the button arrangement, I kind of kept it similar to the old Mortal Kombat machine. I went for the 1 and 2 player buttons down below. You can have different joystick tops. I was originally going for like the kind of ball joystick tops with the chrome arms, but I went for these black tops, which I think are better for fighting games. I also went with the chrome T-molding down the side. I think that's a really nice touch. The only thing I did kind of compromise on, because I think I kind of wanted some lighting, is the marquee at the top, the Mortal Kombat 2. That is backlit, which I will show you later. It gives off a nice glow at night. But yeah, I just wanted it to look fairly retro, like I say. And that's what I got. If we get in a little bit closer, you can see it's actually finished with this really nice carbon effect. But what really impresses me with this cabinet and the build, it is an absolutely solid build. I did see some cabinets where there was like gaps in the corners up here, or you could actually see like the monitor logos, and even I saw some with like buttons for like to actually power the monitor. I didn't want that, you know. For me, it ruins the immersion. I wanted it to look and feel like an old cabinet. And what really impressed me, and this was the kind of bit that was worrying me, was this actual inner part that surrounds the screen. Some people kind of just sort of border them off, but Andy's actually put in this. It looks like it's made of wood, and it's got that kind of, where it's kind of rounded off, it's got that kind of old CRT like TV screen look to it, which is perfect. You know, it hides all the kind of monitor details, and it just looks like an arcade machine. That's the only way I can describe it. Even down, if we come down here, you can see this kind of pattern here. I mean, I remember that on the old machines. If we look at the control panel, again, we've got this like really nice carbon finish going through with the perspex. The perspex actually attached to it, and then we've got this perspex panel over the screen. It just looks like an old retro machine, and it's just finished superbly. It's really well put together. All the back as well, I would show you it, but I see some of these cabinets, and they've got like the back hanging out where you can like access all the wires, etc., which is handy, don't get me wrong, but this is all, you know, built in. It's got a proper back on it with ventilation, and you know, if you wanted to take that off, you can, to access, you know, the Raspberry Pi, etc. And it's bespoke. It's built to what you want. I went for the Raspberry Pi. Let me have a little look a minute, because I do keep forgetting. It's the Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. So this comes in with around 3,000 to 4,000 games, I believe. And I wanted predominantly Mortal Kombat, because I've got fond memories of Mortal Kombat in the arcade. The Street Fighters, obviously, Pac-Man, Paperboy, Final Fight, Double Dragon, Simpsons, Turtles. I just listed a load of games off, and they're all on there. You know, they're pretty much every game, and loads and loads and loads more. Yeah, well, I'm just trying to think of any other kind of upgrades. He does offer a speaker upgrade, which I opted for as well, with a woofer, so it does throw out a little bit more bass. You can control the volume via the menu screen. It's just awesome. It really is. Again, I'll just give you a closer look. What I will do now is I'll just put a short pause in, and we'll fire it up, and I'll try and give you a little demo. I was going to do this with an assistant, because it is actually quite hard filming and playing games on it with one hand, but I won't be able to get that video up anytime soon, and I wanted to get this up like now so you guys can see it. So just give me a moment. I'll put a short pause in, and we'll fire it up. Right, we are back. I just powered it up, and roughly to account, this will power up in under a minute. So yeah, it loads everything up in around under a minute's time. So let's have a closer look. Like I say, it's going to be a bit tricky, but I will do my best. So this is the main menu screen. You've got arcade, Dreamcast. So there's a few Dreamcast games on there. There's loads of Mega Drive games. You've got Neo Geo. There's a few PlayStation. And then you've got the Retro Pi settings, Super Nintendo, and then you've got favourites as well. So you can actually, amongst all the thousands of games, you can add favourites to make it easier for you instead of like scrolling through all the, you know, there's literally, there's thousands of games on there. So what we'll do, we'll go with favourites. And then we'll just give you a quick look at this. You've got Afterburner, Bomberjack, Dig Dug. It's got the old Donkey Kong. It's also got Donkey Kong Jr., which I remember from the ColecoVision. Amazing. Final Fight. Frogger. I mean, this is a classic. Ghosts and Goblins. It's got Ghouls and Ghosts as well. I used to love this one. Kung Fu Master. Show my age now. You got Marvel Superheroes. It's got Street Fighter 2. It's got Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter 2, and Street Fighter 3. But the Street Fighter 2 series, it's got about 10 games, like Super Street Fighter 2, Hyper Street Fighter 2. There's just loads and loads and loads. Got a bit of Mortal Kombat 2. Used to love playing this in the arcade. So what we'll do, we'll load up Pac-Man because it's a little bit easier to kind of play with one hand. So you got your credits down here. Put your credits in, press one player, and we're good to go. Absolute classic game. And stands the test of time. Like, I've seen this in arcades like today. I was playing it the other day. It's just a brilliant game. Ah, that noise. Ah, it's just so good. So good. And the beauty of it as well is like you can just like muck around with this for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long you want. And then when you want to come out, press the two buttons, you're back out. And you can literally just surf between so many different games. Sonic. Again, if we come out of the menus, if we go arcade, I'll just scroll through. I mean, we're just getting into B, C, yeah, it's just, there's loads. There's absolutely loads. So if we go back to favorites. And that is basically it. What can I say? It is really cool having a retro arcade machine. Again, going back to Andy, I'll just give you a quick look at these instructions. I forgot to mention this. Just shows you how kind of professional he is. With regards to the actual instructions, he's actually put on there my control panel there and label the buttons out. You know, he didn't have to do that. He could have just gone with a generic kind of, you know, control panel with joystick, etc., but it just goes to show that like the lengths he goes to you know, give you a really top class professional service. Just awesome. Anyway, thought I'd give you a little look at that one. My retro Pi arcade machine. Something a little bit different to what I usually show. The next stuff will be more of the same. I've got some cool pieces coming in, so stay tuned for those. And I will see you on the next one. Take it easy, stay safe, and I will catch you later.